Hi! Within this lecture, we're gonna install Virtualbox in our Mac OS machines. So if you're using a device that uses Mac OS operating system, then it's great, like a MacBook or something like that, because in the previous lecture, we have installed the Virtualbox for Windows. Now we're gonna do it for Mac OS users. Okay, so if you're not a Mac OS user, just skip this lecture. Now, why we are using the Virtualbox? Because as I previously mentioned, we need virtual machines in order to use the Kali Linux or other operating systems during the course. And the best way to do that is use something called Virtualbox. Okay, so Virtualbox is not the only alternative over here. It's not the only option. It has alternatives such as VMware, but we're not going to be using them because Virtualbox is the most popular one and also it's free. Okay, now we're not going to pay anything. And of course, if you're using VMware or any other virtualization system before for some reason, of course you can continue to use them. But if you're hearing this about the first time, then just follow along with me, install the Virtualbox, and all you gotta do is just search for Virtualbox over here in Google, okay? And it will just take you to the official website of the Virtualbox, which is the virtualbox.org anyway. Okay, so virtualbox.org is the official website. So Virtualbox is actually made by Oracle. So maybe you have heard them before. They're a company, a big company. They sell products, but they do not sell the Virtualbox. Okay, it's for free. Now that is the primary reason why we are using the Virtualbox, but also Virtualbox is a very stable, it's a very good tool. So why not? So all you gotta do is just find the download section. Of course, these pictures and stuff can change in over time, but there will be a download section and you gotta choose your own operating system. But you gotta be aware that we have a Mac OS for Intel hosts and Mac OS for ARM64 hosts. So if you're using an M1, M2, M3 chips, then you gotta choose it wisely, okay? If you're using an Intel chipped MacBook, then you just go for that one. If you're using an M1 or M2 or other things, then you gotta go for that one. They're going to be both downloading some like a DMG file, and the installation process will be exactly the same for the both of them. Okay, so choose your own operating system. Of course, they're all Mac OS. Choose your own hardware. Okay, so rather Intel or M1 and M2, and just click on it and download the thing. And after that, you're gonna have to find the extension pack over here, and it's going to be the same for all platforms, including Windows and Linux and M1, M2, Intel. Just download it, okay? And I have downloaded them before in order not to make you wait, but they are something like 100 megabytes and 25 megabytes, so it's going to be very quick for you as well. Most probably it has been downloaded by now. Now all you gotta do is just install it. Okay, it's pretty easy, and it's the same for M1, M2, and the other Intel chips as well. All you gotta do is just double click on the DMG file, the Virtualbox, first of all, and then the extension pack. Now, first of all, we're gonna be using the Virtualbox because this extension pack is actually an extension, helper functions, helper tools, helper softwares in order for us to enable something like connecting a USB device to our virtual machine. We're gonna need it, but of course, first of all, we need the Virtualbox. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna open it. Okay, you can right click and say open, or just double click on it. It will just guide you through it. So as you can see, it says that double click on this icon. Great, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna double click on it. It will create a setup wizard for me. I'm just gonna say continue and install. It will ask me for my password, and this password is the password of your computer. Okay, and just give it, and it will just install it for you. It's very cool. Actually, it's already been done for us. So I'm just gonna close this and then close this down as well. Of course, it will land in the applications folder. You can open the applications folder from here, or you can open your Launchpad and just find the Virtualbox here. Okay, it should be something around here. So let me see. Yeah, here you go. I see the VirtualBox. I can click over here, or I can hit Command and Space and then search for it. So whatever you do, just find the VirtualBox and click on it and open it. Great. Now, VirtualBox looks something like that, but obviously I have used VirtualBox before. That's why I have some virtual machines on the left-hand side. Most probably you won't see any of them. You will see an empty list with a screen like this. It's okay, because we will be installing them shortly. Okay, now this is what we will see once we install the virtual machines. It is pretty easy. Now I'm gonna eject this installation wizard, okay, and even you can delete the installation file, setup file if you want. Okay, I'm just gonna delete it. I'm not gonna be using it anymore. And then we need to install the extension pack. Now, the easiest way to install the extension pack is just to double click on it, and it will ask you, it will open up in the VirtualBox itself, and it will ask you to install it. Okay, just read the license and say I agree, and of course we're gonna have to give our password, and here you go. Now it's already been installed. But in some cases, sometimes you double click on it. I'm just going to delete it. But if you come across any problem such as you double click on it and it doesn't open in the VirtualBox, then you got to install it manually. Okay, let me show you how to do that. There are a couple of ways to approach the extensions tab. So first of all, you need to click over here and find the extensions. That's it. Click over here to this icon and find the extensions, and click on the add button, and then add the extension that you have downloaded, and it will be installed over here. If you cannot see the extensions in this menu, maybe you can go over here and find the preferences. Maybe it's listed in here, okay? Maybe you can see the extensions in this settings page. But there are kind of two settings page over here. One of them is the preferences, and the other one is this three dot icon menu. And if you find the extensions from either of them, that is great. Now, next thing to do is just find the network. Here you go. I see the network over here in this menu. Okay, maybe it's located under preferences in your case, but most probably you will see them in the exact same place that I see mine. Now, after I open the network, we should switch to the Net Network tab, and that is where we are going to be creating a net network. So let me remove the older ones, and I'm going to explain what a net network is. Don't worry. We're going to create a net network. It will create a virtual network in our VirtualBox, so we can use the internet in our virtual machines using the host machine internet, and also we can create a virtual net that we can connect the virtual machines together, so we can simulate some attacks. We can hack one machine from another. So we're going to be using the net network throughout the course, and it's very easy to create one. All you got to do, make sure you go to Net Networks and hit on the create button, and that's it. It's already been created for you. Of course, we're gonna see how to connect this net network to one of the virtual machines later on, but all you gotta do just right now is to create this net network. Make sure you create it. And that's it. Maybe one last thing I can show you is to come over here to the preferences and go to the language tab. So if you want, you can change the language of the VirtualBox, okay? I don't recommend it, but maybe you're not a native English speaker, so you can just come over here and choose your own native language. Why I don't recommend it? Because most of the documentation, most of the knowledge about the VirtualBox in internet is in English. So if you want to search something, most probably you will see some phrases, terms in English. It can be a little bit confusing when you use the VirtualBox in another language, okay? But that's all you gotta do. Now the easy part is over. Now we're gonna move on to the hard part, which is installing the Kali Linux or other operating systems in our virtual machine, and we're just gonna run them. And if it doesn't run, then we're gonna be doing a lot of problem solving, and I think you're ready for it. Now if you come to this place, then it's great. Now we're gonna stop here and continue within the next one together.